Thank you for joining us for the KU School Social Welfare Bachelor of Social Work Information Brief. My name is Rocky Wallace, and I'm the recruitment coordinator for the department.
Hi, and I'm Juliana Carlson. I am the BSW program director.
My name is Kelly Jones, and I direct the practicum office.
And my name is Amaya Chandler, and I'm the BSW Student Retention Coordinator.
This is our agenda for the evening. We're going to discuss what is social work, the school social welfare at the University of Kansas, BSW program and life as a Jayhawk, and social work careers. So what is social work? The National Association of Social Workers describes social work as a profession devoted to helping people function the best way they can in their environment. So about KU and the School of Social Welfare. More than 80 years old. Our program's been around for more than 80 years. We're the oldest accredited social work program in the state of Kansas. We're a small professional school, which makes it intimate for us to be with our students and our professors. And our BSW program is offered at KU Lawrence and KU Edwards in both the full-time and part-time capacity. Our commitment to diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging, and this is our school vision. All individuals, families, and communities utilize their power to achieve justice, equity, and well-being. So admissions into the BSW program at the University of Kansas. So you must be admissible to the University of Kansas to get assured admission into the social work major. A 3.25 GPA on a 4.0 scale, no test scores needed in order to be admitted and admissible, or an ACT score of at least 21 or SAT of at least 1060 plus a 2.0 cumulative GPA on a 4.0 scale. For our transfer admissions students, we're asking for a 24 plus transferable college credit hours and at least a 2.5 transferable GPA.
So I'm going to share a little bit about our BSW program here at KU. So our curriculum is kind of structured in a variety of ways. The first 2 years of the BSW program, you are required to have 120 total credit hours. So that's kind of the big picture. And that includes 12 credit hours of internship. And Kelly will share a little bit more about what we mean when we say the word internship. If you are a 4-year student with us on our Lawrence campus, you will really concentrate your first 2 years on your general education requirements. And you'll take a variety of courses. That's up to you if it fulfills the general education requirements at KU. Lots of variety and really exciting classes to be able to look at. In your first 2 years, in terms of social work classes, we ask that you complete our Intro to Social Work class, and there are a couple of really cool 300 level social work electives. One of them that is fun and a lot of students like to participate in is really focused on thinking about self-care and how to manage your stress. In your 3rd year, which sometimes can be considered your junior year, is where our main concentration in our social work classes start taking place. So we are really excited about the curriculum that we're offering right now. We developed it and launched it in the fall of 2022. So there are a lot of really new and exciting ideas that we're putting together for students that are relevant to their current social work practice. In your junior year, for example, you take a interviewing skills class. We created this class to help you be prepared for going into your practicum year, which is in your senior year. Students really love this class to be able to kind of think about how do you develop rapport with people and developing your skills in that area. We also really are excited about our skill-based policy advocacy class, which is also another course that you take in your junior year. As you probably have known or think about, when you're doing your undergraduate degree in social work, you're thinking about being a generalist practitioner, which means that you don't narrow in on being a clinical social worker or what we would describe as a macro social worker. We're helping you think about all the skills that you could potentially use as a generalist practitioner. We also have really fun and interesting classes that are taught in your junior year that you take based on what you're interested in and what is offered during that semester. So for example, we have classes about decolonization in social work being taught by people that developed that course, and also responding to suicide and self-harm and substance use. So again, this helps students get the opportunity kind of to delve in a short way into really exciting and interesting topics that are relevant to future practice. In our fourth year, which is our senior year, there's some really exciting classes that help you really start to apply what you're going to be doing in your own practice. So if you see listed 610 and 612, those engaging, assessing, intervening, and evaluating, that is all at the multi-level practice. So we do really exciting work in thinking about how do you do all of those things with individuals, families, communities, and organizations. And then we have our course, Human Rights, Social, Economic, and Environmental Justice, which really helps ground students in the values of our profession. You get to cap that your senior year off with our professional issues class. And then most importantly, really central to our curriculum is practicum. And practicum is a course that you take both your fall and spring semesters. And Kelly is going to unpack that more for you in just a few minutes. And then last, we, again, like your junior year, have these really exciting short topic courses. And again, a new kind of collection of those courses. Students really love these mini courses, as we call them, that focus, again, give students an opportunity to focus in on areas that they're really interested in. So that is our senior year. So advancement. So we consider BSW advancement as something that should be a pretty smooth process. Typically, it's going to happen the summer before you start your 500 level courses, which for some students is going to be their junior year. We require that you have a 2.0 in the college for your accumulative GPA, and that you have your 54 hours of general education completed. And then very specifically that you've earned a B or higher in Social Work 220. That's our Introduction to Social Work class that we're teaching. And then you will obviously work very closely with sometimes called an academic success coach or your advisor to help you with, making sure that you're on track for that BSW advancement.
So I'm going to share a little bit here about internships within the School of Social Welfare that we refer to as practicums. The word practicum is rooted in practice, and our goal for you as students is to really get it to be able to practice social work and not just do things that you might see on TV that are often associated with internships, like making copies or getting coffee. That's not what social workers do. We'll move on to talk about what we do. So in your practicum, which will be in your senior year, you will do 16 hours per week over 2 semesters for 416 hours in a practicum setting that we help match to your interests. So we have partnerships with over 500 agencies in the Kansas and Missouri areas. Many of our practicums take place in Lawrence and the KC metro area. We have a practicum office staff who help coordinate practicums, so students don't have to do that themselves. And we work very closely to align your practicum with your area of interest. When you get to your practicum setting, 50% of your time at least must be working with individuals and families. And there are other things you might be doing within your practicum, but that's the core of our generalist level curriculum. You will also have opportunity in some cases to receive a stipend. but not all of our practicums receive stipends. We're working on increasing the number of stipends there are, but it's something that I always want students to think about and plan for in case you're in a setting where a stipend is not available. KU has partnerships in a lot of different areas, and we'll be talking about this later on in the presentation, where social workers often show up. So hospitals and hospice settings are common for our social work students. We also have students that are working within a child welfare agencies. Many of our BSW students are in K through 12 settings, in school settings. We also have students that are working in early childhood education settings. We have students in community mental health centers and in small and large nonprofits working in many different areas, like serving individuals who are experiencing domestic and intimate partner violence, or individuals who might be unhoused.
Hello, yes, I'll talk to you a little bit about life as a Jayhawk. It's very exciting. As a social work student, you get to know a lot of other students. So social work students stay together as a cohort, your students' junior and senior year. In fact, even as a freshman, you might take the Intro to Social Work course and find that you can stick with the same group of friends over the course of 4 years if you plan it to where you're taking some of the same classes together your freshman and sophomore year. There are over 600 clubs to take a look at KU. There's a huge website we have called Rock Chalk Central, and you have the ability to filter what you're interested in. One of the clubs within the School of Social Welfare is the BSW student group, and they meet regularly. There's a group on the Lawrence campus, and there is a processing group at the Edwards campus and Overland Park, Kansas, that meet every week just to meet and process the social work program as a group. There is an ability to network. There are so many alumni in the greater Kansas City area. And many of our students, well, of course, all of our students have to do an internship, but also many students are passionate about community service in general. And there are over 80,000 hours of community service performed by KU students. And you can learn more about that by going to volunteer.ku.edu. We do also like to highlight the 2 study abroad opportunities that we have within the School of Social Welfare. In June, our students go to Costa Rica for a week, and in May, students are able to go to Milan, Italy for about a week. Each of these opportunities are worth 3 credit hours, which is awesome. They are also faculty-led. We have a Pathways to the Profession event series that is organized by the School of Social Welfare. So there will be opportunities for you to attend Zoom events to learn more about careers in social work, creating resumes, hard and soft skills for interviewing or any different sort of professional need you may come across. We also have conversations with professional social workers in the area. We have a day in the life event where we have a panel of social workers that talk with you about a day in the life of the work that they are doing. There are multiple certificate programs and research experiences and different scholars opportunities. We also offer grad school prep at KU in the event you're interested in going to graduate school after you complete your bachelor's in social work degree.
So one of the things I love about being a practicum director is I get to help students connect to jobs and employment. So we'll talk a little bit about the careers you can pursue with the social work degree. So you'll see a lot of different job titles for our social work colleagues in and about the community. Oftentimes they're doing case management work if they are a BSW, and that could be helping a person navigate systems like hospitals or child welfare systems, and to help connect resources and really improve their quality of life. Many of our BSWs are working with the criminal legal system as a juvenile court liaison, helping juveniles who are intersecting with the criminal legal system navigate the court system. Human service specialists are working within oftentimes a behavioral health setting, which you can hear called a mental health center, working with individuals who are experiencing a mental health crisis. And then we have BSWs that do really good work within crisis advocacy. That might be working with someone who's experienced a crime. It might be working with someone who is lost their housing or has another serious health issue that's come up, and it's local and immediate and they need help. And a social worker's job would be to help navigate systems. The settings that social workers are show up in are many. So this is just a few lists, a short list actually, but we're in schools. We work with veteran services. We work to support individuals that are patients in medical settings. I mentioned mental health centers, and then residential settings like individuals within a shelter or in a domestic violence shelter. We have this great slide about thinking outside of the box. Sometimes when you get an undergraduate degree, there are ideas about what someone does with that degree. In BSWs, I think a lot of people focus on child welfare, which is important work that we do, but there are other places where social workers show up. So we have colleagues working with athletes who might be experiencing mental health issues or who need help navigating an academic system. So that might be the university. Disaster social workers are individuals working with people that are experiencing an environmental crisis or a weather incident is an example. Directors of students' rights and responsibilities, research assistants, social workers are engaged in supporting our faculty who are scholars in all the areas that social work touches. We have BSWs there. Veterinarian social workers is a new and growing field, as is library social workers that are not listed there, but one that I'll mention. And then right now we have a great need to work with individuals who are migrating for various reasons from one country to another. And that is great work that social workers are involved in. And importantly, we work with individuals and families, but also we work at a policy and advocacy level and utilize our skills and our relationship building to help move issues that create a more just world. We'll see what else we got on the next slide. So BSW students have the capacity to work in all of the places that I mentioned, but sometimes and often BSWs go on into an advanced standing MSW degree. The MSW degree allows you to do work at a more advanced level. And in particular, oftentimes it might provide you opportunities for working in a therapeutic setting, so doing therapy, or if you're interested in advocacy and community organizing, it might allow you to have a higher position within a policy agency. So if you would like to get your MSW, once you have your BSW degree, KU offers an advanced standing MSW degree, which you can do in 1 year if you do it full time, or you could do it in 2 years if you do it part time. We have 4 locations. We have a Salina campus, a Lawrence campus, an Edwards campus in Overland Park, Kansas, and then we also offer an online program. The MSW prepares you to get your LMSW, so that's the licensed MSW, which licensed master's level social work degree. And our program, you have 2 concentrations to select from. Clinical, which is again may focus primarily on behavioral health, or macro. Macro refers to administration, advocacy, research work, so it's a different level of social work. And when you graduate, you can pursue those advanced level opportunities that we mentioned. And before we move on to this slide, I want to mention that while an MSW can be licensed in the state of Kansas and Missouri, so can an LBSW. So you can get your license as a BSW and work in organizations that require licensing for billing. So we'll move on to the next slide.
All right, so why KU School of Social Welfare? We have many different reasons to consider coming to school at KU. Of course, one of the biggest reasons is we're the oldest school of social work in the state of Kansas, so we have our stuff together over here. And as Juliana mentioned earlier, we do have a new curriculum that was We just started in fall of 2022. We are fully accredited by the Council on Social Work Education. You might hear it referred to as the CSWE. There's a lot of support in the KU School of Social Welfare, one of those being with academic success coaches and academic advisors. You can, as an incoming freshman, you can meet with an academic advisor as early as orientation to talk about your whole graduation plan. We have the School of Social Welfare has their very own student support coordinator. We have our students have their own writing consultant. There's also opportunity to get involved in the school. So for example, we have the Dean Student Advisory Board. There's also the DEI Council, and there's even a BSW program committee that students can be a part of. One thing that I love about the program is that when you get into the 500 and 600 level courses that Juliana had talked about a few slides ago, there are 25 or less students in each class. So you'll have lots of contact with faculty, and these are in-person classes. So you will be able to build really strong and long-lasting relationships with the students in these classes and the instructors that are teaching them. There's also high involvement from the practicum office, as Kelly was talking about. There's a lot of pieces that are in play with practicum, and there's just so much support with the practicum piece as well. And also the school in general is committed to diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. And I feel that everybody working with students in this School of Social Welfare has a service heart and are really committed to the success of all students in our program. There are also just many reasons why students come to KU in general. One of them is the community. And if you've never visited KU's campus before, highly encourage you to come and visit and take a tour of campus. It's gorgeous. Or if you're interested in transferring to KU and are living in the KC metro area, we have the program at the Edwards campus in Overland Park. If you're interested in more of the late afternoon, evening coursework, you can come tour at the Edwards campus. Of course, the class sizes are super small, and there's just such a great opportunity after graduation, including with the advanced standing MSW program that Kelly was referencing. Within KU, there are also financial opportunities. So we have KU merit-based scholarships that are awards based on GPA performance, and information about these renewable scholarships can be found online. We have a program within the School of Social Welfare called the Tony Johnson Scholars for Racial and Social Justice. And this application is open to incoming and current BSW students. And it does include additional support and faculty mentoring. There's the Sigler Family Aging Scholars Program. This is for students interested in working with social work and aging populations. There are many other KU scholarship opportunities at KU in general once a student is admitted to KU. And then you can also apply as a sophomore to the TRIO McNair Scholars Program. Now, if there are any questions, you are welcome to reach out to us, to the School of Social Welfare. We have our contact information on one of these slides, and feel free to reach out to us anytime. Or if you'd like to meet with Rocky, who you met at the beginning of the brief, there's the QR code that you can set up an appointment with Rocky to talk about the BSW program, or reach out to Vicki and I.
Thank you so much for joining us. We're super excited about you joining the Jayhawk family, and please reach out if there are any questions that you have regarding the program or just KU in general. Rock Chalk.